Today's Anxiety Slayer podcast is brought to you by the Anxiety Slayer First Responder Series for anxiety attacks. Learn how to stop an anxiety attack anywhere and anytime with a special tapping sequence you can use at work, social events, or doctor's visits. We will show you exactly how to use this powerful technique to feel calm again in just a couple of minutes. You'll also get extra support for calming anxiety when it wakes you at night, how to feel safe again if you've had an anxiety attack away from home, stopping the fear of an anxiety attack, and a guided self-compassion and calming session you can use to help you rest on challenging days. Make 2019 the year you slay your anxiety attacks with our step-by-step course for stopping anxiety and reclaiming your life. Enroll today and save $20 for a limited time at anxietyslayer.com. Welcome back to Anxiety Slayer. I'm Shan Vanderleek here with my wonderful friend and co-host Ananga Sivir. Hello, Ananga.
Hey, Shan.
Today we're answering a question from a listener who feels she's lost herself to anxiety and just wants to feel like her old self again. I'm glad we're talking about this because this comes up quite a bit within our groups, and we've received many, many emails over the years saying, I just want to be me again.
Yeah, anxiety can very easily feel like something that's taken a lot away from us, and we fear missing out with social events and our relationships or sometimes career. It really can eat into all areas of our life. And when anxiety takes over our mind, it pulls our attention to what we feel we lack or we've lost. And one healing practice that's really helpful when we feel this way is to write in a journal all of the sweetness that remains in us, the good parts of us that anxiety hasn't eclipsed, a gratitude practice where we can take inventory of our courage, humor, compassion, all the good stuff that really is still there, even though it may feel like it isn't, the things we can still do, and the ways we still do show up for our loved ones.
I love the idea of taking an inventory and writing it down, because then it's proof. We can prove to ourselves that there's so much more to us than our anxiety. The other thing is to get really curious about your feelings by asking open-ended, supportive questions so that you can learn more about how to calm your mind and feel a lot more like yourself. Questions can help you uncover so much. For instance, what specifically are you not feeling that you miss? Or what does it mean to feel more like you? And then how can you help yourself build that feeling again? This allows us to really dig deep and take a look and come to some conclusions that we might not have gone to before, because we can get stuck in that victim mentality. It's very easy to do.
Yeah, anxiety really, it's like a blanket of snow. It just goes over everything and wipes everything out, and we can feel really lost to it. And what tends to happen when we're suffering in that way with our mind is that we become very generalistic. We'll use words like, I can't do anything anymore. I just don't feel like myself anymore. But it's really helpful to ask specific questions. Do we not feel like all of ourselves? When we say, I don't feel like myself anymore, it's a very entire statement. So it's good to go looking for the bits that still do feel like us, and especially the bits that we appreciate in us. And then from there, we can look at the bits we want to grow and we want to nurture and appreciate and develop further. So anxiety really becomes very generalistic in our minds if we let it, and it will swamp everything. So good to just have an unearthing practice, an appreciation practice, and maybe try and see yourself through the eyes of a close friend also who really appreciates you. And ask yourself, what is it they find in my company? What do I bring to the relationship? It's very helpful just to invest some time and care in ourselves and appreciating the good qualities that are still there. For one, with anxiety is courage. Anxiety requires a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage, a lot of bravery to keep going when you're suffering that much with your mind. So if nothing else, to really give yourself a pat on the back for that.
Without question. People who suffer with anxiety are so much stronger than what they realize because they keep showing up and doing all they can.
Yeah.
In all trauma, anxiety, and suffering lies the opportunity for growth. If anxiety is pulling our mind to go over what we feel we are missing, we can absolutely lose that opportunity. So ask yourself what you can do now, in this moment, to take a step forward toward how you want to feel. Perhaps a walk outside or listening to some of your favorite music. Or you might want to reach out to an old friend to share some laughs about old times. Anxiety will tell us otherwise, but we really do get to choose how we feel. And we might need some support or to gather some inspiration, but it's important to remember that we all have the ability to choose.
Yeah. Choice is something to always hold close and treasure and explore. I've been sharing with you, Shan, that I've been reading a wonderful book about choice these last couple of weeks by Dr. Edith Eger, who's a survivor of Auschwitz and a very highly commended psychiatrist who's still practicing in the United States at 92 years of age. And there's so many wonderful inspirations in her book. And one statement that she repeats a lot, and when you hear her speaking, you can listen to her speaking on TED Talks and YouTube. And she says repeatedly, don't ask why me, ask what now. And one of the tricks of anxiety is to lock us into a victim mindset where we feel stuck in that awful experience and we tend to fixate on everything we don't want. We might resent or hate our anxiety. It's something we hear often, that anxiety sufferers hate their anxiety. We might fear that we're missing out on life and feel unhappy about that. But all that energy of resentment and resistance, it lives inside us. It gets stuck inside us, and it's harmful to us, and it adds to our suffering. So instead of going to the question of objection about what's happening, I don't like what's happening to me, taking that advice from Dr. Eger of asking, what now? It's understood we don't like it, we don't like how it feels, but to move to, what can I do about it? What's next? So instead, we can ask, how do I want to feel? And start taking steps to find and feel what we want to experience. And ask ourselves, how do I want to feel today? And how can I help myself feel more like I feel is me? And how can I take steps towards that? Always looking at the present moment and a step towards the future rather than letting anxiety hold us down and hold us back.
Well said. Thank you so much, Ananga, and thank you to all of our listeners for listening to the Anxiety Slayer podcast and being a part of our community. Make 2019 the year you slay your anxiety attacks with our step-by-step first responder course for stopping anxiety and reclaiming your life. Enroll today and save $20 for a limited time at anxietyslayer.com. Make 2019 the year you slay your anxiety attacks with our step-by-step course for stopping anxiety and reclaiming your life. Learn how to stop an anxiety attack anywhere and anytime with a special tapping sequence you can use at work, social events, or doctor's visits. We will show you exactly how to use this powerful technique to feel calm again in just a couple of minutes. Enroll in the First Responder Series for anxiety attacks today and save $20 for a limited time at anxietyslayer.com.